Having devil's advocate manipulate you to do things, I wouldn't portray as being forced to do this stuff. Like, obviously, you and I will have our own, like, extrapolations as to what we would do in his shoes, but it's like a delirium what he went through. And in that weakened state, and probably only in that weakened state, body, mind, and soul, was he able to be manipulated. But yeah, just talking about that series makes me sad. It doesn't make me angry, it just makes me sad, because I don't know. Even as I extrapolate, you know, I'm being optimistic. Like, let's look at the bright side of things, and, you know, where would we be without wishful thinking? But it's really hard to argue that he had a choice. Like, he was gonna end up there anyway, right? I don't know. It's hard to say what makes the Joker in Batman, but the Batman. Well, he got brainwashed, yeah. For sure. Okay, where are we now? This is looking better than it was. What does it look like when I collapse it? We still got the main four up here. I'm gonna have to fix these up at some point. We cleared up 2 slots here, which is really nice. This, kind of like being here. This potion never needs to do anything. This, I forget when that's useful. Food I always want to have access to, but having in the middle is fine. I guess this doesn't get used in the same way. So we cleared up 2 slots there. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but I'm sure we'll make use of them. It's a shame that, like, all of the consumables that I want to run for dungeons are soulbound. Like, I wish they would change that. I'm not trolling, by the way. If you want a 2-man raw, I'm going to do it later solo, so I don't mind the company. And by do it, I mean I'm going to attempt it. I don't know that necessarily I'm going to beat a raw, but I'm going to try. Who is your favorite villain, and who's your favorite hero from Berserk? I think we want to put these away as well. The Black Lion salvage kits. We already have 2 here, so we can put 3 away somewhere else. We need to move the simple infusion. Let's make a note of this. Simple infusion. By the way, there are a lot of emotes that are available on the chat now. I think this works. Let me see. I know you're a fan of emotes, so I just thought I'd let you know. Lotus? Wait, Lotus is in Berserk. Lotus is okay. Are you talking about the God Hand? I'm unfamiliar with the names of the God Hand. Like, I don't know them intimately. And so if you're talking about God Hand, I'm not familiar with that. But if you're talking about somebody else, I'm also not familiar with it. With the amount of knowledge I have for Berserk, it's surprising to know that I'm just not as much of a fan. It's just one of those undeniably great, like, it's like not watching Kurosawa films if you're getting into, like, acting or art or screenwriting or something like that. You have to do it. Like, what do you go fuck off? Like, what do you mean? Like, you have to follow the legends, you know? And so when it comes to legendary storytelling, like, I don't deny how great Berserk is, but I've never been, like, as absorbed in it. It's mostly like I get wrapped up in conversations by other people who are so in love with the series. I do have some knowledge of it. The names are elusive. Okay, how do we want to approach this? First things first. Scratch that essence. We can replace that. Now we got a bunch of dies here, and the statuettes. I guess we can put away the coin, the statuettes, and the infusion and come back and get these black lion chests to come over here. And then we can also salvage out. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna salvage ascended armor chests. And then we're gonna move the black lion salvage. And then, what else? Put away the stuff from Bank to the Mule. Now, you asked me for my favorite villain. I see. Well, favorite hero and favorite villain, right? Because Guts is great, but doesn't necessarily have to be favorite hero. And it could be the same thing, too. Like, Griffin, or Griffith, could be your favorite hero and favorite villain, right? So just because there's a tragic story to be told for Griffith doesn't mean that they weren't an incredible hero when they were one. Like, obviously Guts is superior throughout the series. Yeah. When did Berserk come out? Was it 70s or 80s? I wonder. Okay, so we move. Let's move. Onto the mule, but which mule? I think it's this one. Good question. There's many in the Hawk, right? Wow, that was your first, that was your introduction to, like, you know what though? So Spawn was my comic book. That's the very first comic book. Well, maybe technically not my very first. The one I remember enjoying the most as like one of the first comic books that I had. And Spawn, I don't know if you've ever seen Spawn, the animated series, or the film, or read the or played the games, or read the comic book, but it's really dark as well. It's like Hellspawn, you know? It's kind of cool. I don't think it's as dark psychologically as Berserk, but it's pretty gory and whatnot. Okay, where were we? We can move this infusion. We can move this coin. And we can move one of these chests, but we probably don't want to put it here. Yeah. Do we get any more statues? Yep. Okay. To the other mule we go. So Aizen from Bleach as a villain and hero. Thorfinn, I guess. I enjoy how full of himself Aizen is, but it seems really intelligent, you know? Because, like, some villains can be portrayed as just having the ego snowball and run amok, and then obviously hubris blinds them to their weaknesses, and they just kind of get destroyed by whatever, you know, the protagonist. But in Aizen's case, like, I forget his name. The dude with the hat. Like, the dude with the hat checkmates him, you know? And then, he's just so powerful, and the way Ichigo is read, right, spiritually, you just can't comprehend his strength, but he's like aware and bored and laments about how weak everybody is. So he's like, give me a challenge, you know, like how do you think you can do it? And he just has to, he gets confronted, you know, over and over again throughout that encounter, and it just kind of dawns on him little by little how outclassed he is. Bankai. I was a fan of Bleach for like the first whatever episodes, you know, and then I kind of got bored of it. There was some like cathedral underground where the fight was taking place. I'm like, I've seen this before. I'm only like, you know, less than 100 episodes in. I've seen this before. What is happening? And it's not that I literally saw it, but it was like kind of the same thing. The storytelling really sucked. And like I understand now why. Just, you know, the creator being a bit immature, kind of forced to figure it out, have a team behind him, but yeah. When I was watching it, I couldn't understand why I got bored of Bleach. I hear Bleach had a, maybe not so recently, but it did have some new content for it. I hope that the storytelling's a little bit better than it was. Who is Thorfinn? I don't know that character. There we go. That's what I want to see. Okay, so we don't want to salvage in here because we're going to risk depositing these. So what do? Just move over as many chests as we can and salvage them somewhere else. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at a time. That's pretty reasonable. We just need to make sure these are not weapon chests. Leggings, boots, helms. Nice. So let's scoot over onto the Ellie, I suppose, and then start salvaging these ascended armors. You never watched Vinland Saga? No. Somebody told me to watch it. I watched episode 1, but obviously, like, I think this is where our bloodlines get a bit twisted. The person that recommended it to me was, like, somehow associated with that bloodline. And I imagine that you have a higher likelihood of being associated with that bloodline than myself. So I can understand, you know, Vikings, raiding, that story being, you know, something you're more fond of. I could never get into it. I feel like it was too bare bones. I just felt it really lacking at the beginning. I don't know what it just... I remember watching the first episode and I was like, I can't get into this. I don't know what I'm missing. But I'm also kind of obnoxious and conceited to the degree where I prevent myself from consuming, like, entertainment. Mostly because I believe I'm going to be let down. There are exceptions, like Jujutsu Kaisen. Somebody recommended that to me, and then I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. And then I watched it, I'm like, I've seen this before, but I enjoy the twist on it, as well as the more modern and culturally appropriate, like, design, obviously, the high schools and stuff, with Japanese culture. But the music really got me. It has to have a banging OST. Like, if Season 1 Jujutsu Kaisen title intro kicks at least 10 times more ass than the Vinland Saga, like, opening theme. It does. It's badass. It's, like, maniacal. It's, like, glitched. It's cursed. It's just modern rock. It's everything I want out of Japanese, like, punk rock, you know? So Vinland Saga had those two things going against it for me. Not only structurally, my bloodline doesn't coalesce with it, but also, like, the intro sucked. The theme song, just, I couldn't get into it. I don't know why I'm explaining myself, but I heard a lot of good things about it, and then I watched episode 1 and I got super disappointed. Okay, what are we doing? So we're collecting these. I think you and I have differing tastes as well. I remember, if I recall correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you hate Hunter x Hunter. I hated Hunter x Hunter a while ago. And then I definitely changed my tune after watching. Yeah, watching more of it. It's one of those things where I couldn't quite put my finger on why I didn't want to watch it, but it's like a Yu Yu Hakusho kind of scenario where it's just like an older